Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to show you what's on my phone. I know, I personally love watching these types of videos to see what apps other people are using. So I thought it would be fun to share with you what's on my phone. Okay, let's go. Alright, let's start off with the lock screen. I have a pretty minimalistic wallpaper and I like to keep everything simple and as minimal as possible. So the wallpaper is just a solid color that you can make yourself. I either go for a black or a white color and then I just change the filter to deep or something that I like, and that's it. Very simple, very minimal, just how I like it. At the top we have date and time. I like to keep them at the fattest font possible because, you know, it's easier to see. I also have a couple of widgets here, one for weather at the left side here and one for a inspirational quote. I use the app Stoic and it's the widget from that app, and I just like, have a reminder every day of something, positive or philosophical, something that motivates me to keep on with my day. And if I'm feeling bad, I can just look at my lock screen and have a inspirational quote ready. I have updated my phone to the latest iOS 18. I can change up the flashlight and camera, but I haven't done that because I'm just so used to them and I like to have quick access to my flashlight and camera. Alright, let's open the phone and get to the home screen. As you can see, I like to keep it very minimal here too. So the first thing you might notice is how monotone everything is. It's just one color, and that's because I don't want to spend time at my phone. I want to keep it to as minimal as possible, and that's why I try to make it as boring as possible. So that's why I chose to go for this black and white look. I think it's working because every time I open my phone and I look at it, I just get bored and I just want to put it away. So that's the reason for having this monotone black and white look. I also don't like to have the text underneath my app, so I removed that and made the icons bigger because it just looks more cleaner. And it's not like making your icon smaller gives you more space, so why not just make them big? I have 3 pages, but the stuff I use the most is on the first page. All the essential apps are here. But let's start off to the left side. Here I keep a lot of different widgets that are essential to me. At the top here we have the weather widget from the Apple's weather app. Then underneath we have a couple smaller widgets, and both of them are my bank accounts, which are basically at 0. I like to switch between different banks and see what type of advantages they have and which ones are more beneficial to me. Even though I don't have that much money, I still like to take advantage of the benefits different banks offer. To the left is my local Norwegian bank called DNB, and to the right is my international bank called Revolut. I've been using it for a couple of years now and I really enjoy it. Then underneath my empty bank accounts we have the Nike widget, because I like to track my runs both with the Garmin watch and the Nike app. Because if you watch my previous videos, I do enjoy using Nike's podcasts or like guided runs, and yeah, it tracks my runs and how many kilometers I've been running weekly and monthly, etc. So it's really nice to have. And then underneath that we have to the left side here my AirTag, which tracks my camera bag, which is very important to me because, don't want to lose my camera. And to the right is the battery percentage. I usually don't look at it unless I have my headphones on and I want to see how much battery they have left. So yeah, that was the left side. Let's go back to the main pages. On the first page we have, as I told you, all the essential apps, so let's start down here at the bottom. I have Notion because I use it for scripting my videos and tracking my language learning progress. And then next to that we have Spotify. That's my app of choice for listening to music. Next to it is another app called TickTick. I use it for scheduling and task management and all that stuff. I really like it and I'll make a more dedicated video on it soon. It's my favorite task/to-do list application, and I've been using it for some years now. Then all the way to the right is the web browser. I don't use Safari or Google Chrome. I prefer using Microsoft Edge, which you might find a little bit weird, but I have a reason for that, and that's because of one function which I really like a lot. Because you see, my PC, my computer, which I use for editing video, playing games and doing all the work, is a Windows one, and it's kind of difficult to send files between your iPhone and your Windows PC. So let's say I'm working on my PC and I need a document sent from my phone to my computer. This is a very quick and easy way to do it. I just open Microsoft Edge, go to drop and just send the file right here. and it appears on the same browser on my PC. Quick and easy. I could use Google Drive too, but it's more for photos and bigger files. But if I want to quickly send something between my phone and computer, I like to use this drop function from Microsoft Edge browser. And also it's quite a decent browser and it syncs perfectly and it works like, any other browser. I really like it. And also the customization of Edge is really nice and I enjoy, for instance, having my tab bars on the left side instead of the top. Then above the main row we have a couple more apps which I use on a daily basis. First and foremost we have the Photos app, then Google Maps, Messenger and Phone. These are the most essential apps for me. Also, I have another widget at the top here for time, because I find the time at the top left corner to be way too small and sometimes, difficult to see or to find. So I like to have my time be in a big font and straight into my eyes. Okay, let's go on to the second page. Here again, not that much, very simple and minimalistic. The first thing you might see is this big widget in the middle, and it's also another one of these inspirational quotes from the app called Stoic. And I've been reading a book called Meditations by Marques, and I find it so helpful and useful in everyday life. Just waking up and reading a motivational page, it gets you going for the day. Or when you're about to go to bed, you just read the page and you find motivation to see that your life is good and everything is perfect. You're just not seeing things from the bright side. Anyways, I'm rambling. So underneath this widget you will find 3 more apps. One is ChatGPT, the other is Google Drive, and the last one is Settings. These are like my productivity apps, which I use a lot, especially if I want to send files between different devices, like from my iPhone to my iPad or to my Windows PC. I need an app which can do all that, and Google Drive is the perfect solution for now. I also use ChatGPT a lot, more than I thought actually, because I find Google or any other search engine to be so trashy nowadays. It's difficult to find what you're looking for. So instead I either go straight to Reddit and try to find a solution from other people there, or ask ChatGPT. I used to have a paid subscription, but now I don't really need it. If I have the need for it, then I'll gladly pay. For instance, when I was a student, I used the paid version of ChatGPT a lot and it saved me a bunch of times. Next page is maybe the most fun one. This is where I keep the statistics for all my hobbies and all my activities that I'm doing. So here at the top we have a couple of widgets. One is for, actually they both are for tracking my habit progress. These widgets are from the TickTick app, which I use for my task and to-do list, as I told you in the beginning. And they also have a habit function, which I really enjoy. So at the top is just to show the progress of the habits if I'm doing them daily. Then underneath that is a widget where I can actually check off the tasks if I have done them. So instead of going into the app, I can do it straight from here. Underneath these 2 widgets are a couple of apps. The 2 on the right are for running. As I told you, I use Nike running application because of the guides, and I also have a Garmin watch to track my progress. And I find Garmin to be much more useful than Apple Watch. And to the left side you might see a bird trying to hide from the view. That's Duolingo, which I use to study my Chinese language. And these are the apps that you will find on my home screen on those 3 pages. Obviously I use some more apps like Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, etc. But I don't want to have them on my home screen because I try to spend as little time as possible on social media. So instead, if I want to access them, I just swipe down and search for the application. In that way, if I feel bored and just open my phone and start scrolling, I won't be tempted by these apps because I can't see them. Obviously, I have a bunch more apps to the right side here, and most of them are not very essential. Just minor things like authenticators or, some connecting apps, etc. A bunch of different apps that I might occasionally need, but most of the time I do not. What else? I can show you my control center. So if you swipe down from the top right corner, you'll come to the control center, and I have 3 pages here. First one is for my favorites, second is for music, and third is for connectivity. You might have noticed that I didn't have a camera app on my home screen, and that's because I have it here in my control center. I find it more quicker and easier to access by swiping down and clicking on camera. That's just the way I do it. I also have a flashlight here. If I am not on the lock screen, I can just swipe down here and access that. Next to the flashlight is where you find stopwatch and alarm clock. Above that is my sound and brightness controls. To the left of that you'll find the different focus modes I'm using, which are only one. And above that is orientation lock and a couple more applications like Shazam, calculator, screen recording and battery saver. These are the essential control center shortcuts that I use. Music and connectivity page, not much to say there, but I like to have them cover the whole of control center, because now in iOS 18 you can resize them, but I'd like to keep them as big as possible to quickly access them, because I didn't really like in the previous iOS updates where you have to hold onto the Wi-Fi icon before you could access it, but here you can do it much quicker. And then I would like to quickly show you a couple more apps that I use very often but were not on my home screen. So I use Microsoft Authenticator for all my passwords and two-factor authorizations, and this app is not perfect but much more preferable than the Google Authenticator. I find it better and more safer. CapCut is another app I use very much because it's so good for video editing and it's free. And it has so many good functions that make your video so much better. I would highly recommend it. And it can also do some photo editing, but I haven't tried that yet. Chess, that's the only game I have on my phone. I did play a lot before, but now not so much. Only if I'm really bored and I have nothing to do and I want to play something, then I'll play chess. Drive, I told you about Google Drive, but I also have Synology Drive, which is a on-location file storage device. You put a bunch of hard drives into it and you can back up a lot of files. I mostly back up my YouTube videos or footage from my trips and photos and big files like that, because you can't easily back them up to a cloud service like Apple iCloud or Google Drive or Dropbox or any of those, and you can, but it's quite expensive. I use Gmail for my private email and Outlook for work, and besides that, not that much to show off here. These apps are, Reddit. I forgot about Reddit. We can mention it last. I use it, it's fun, it's a form of entertainment, but that's what I'm scrolling when I wake up early in the morning, Reddit. Yeah, this was what's on my phone. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. Okay, bye.